Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust.
It's a Sunday night and we are 3 weeks into our November reset where we were looking to improve our diet and do a little bit more exercise. So Sunday night means we need to be accountable to you.
So it's 3 weeks since we got back from our epic Rocky Mountain road trip in an RV. The road trip was amazing. Our routines while we were on the road trip, not so good. When we got back, we did feel like we had eaten far too many carbs. We had probably drank far too many wines and beers. And although we were quite active doing lots of hiking, we did feel that a lot of our strength work and any other kind of exercise went by the wayside. So we just thought before Christmas we would have a bit of a reset.
We haven't set too many complex targets. They are quite simple, but weekly we want to sit down on a Sunday night and take you through how we're going.
I'm not actually sure I want to sit down this week, but Rich has been all right. The main part of what we felt we needed to have a really good look at for the month was our diet. As I said in the intro, we had really slipped into having a lot of carbs, a lot of crisps, a lot of salty foods because we were hiking and it was hot, and we just wanted to eat more healthily. Not go on a diet. We've never particularly been people for dieting. We just wanted to clean up and eat more fruit, more veg, and just more cleanly.
And for the first couple of weeks, it was pretty straightforward at home because we were just hunkered down in the Yorkshire Dales. The weather hasn't been that great. And we just got back into a great routine of buying fresh, cooking healthy, and really enjoying that process. But this week was a little bit more challenging because we were bumped out of our routine for all the right reasons, and we had guests to stay.
And it's not actually a bad thing being out of our routine, and actually having the guests to stay was really good with our diet. I really enjoyed cooking nice meals for us in the evenings.
For me, it was a little bit challenging because the kids that were with the family arrived and they got bags of crisps, which is just my kryptonite, and I haven't allowed crisps in the house because I can't cope with the temptation of them. But we coped all right. It was good. It was really nice to entertain in a healthy way.
And then on Friday, we were supposed to have our daughter up to stay, but she's really poorly, bless her. So she rang us with a bit of a mercy mission. Can we come down and stay with her in Manchester? And can we make her some comfort foods for her?
So we've been there most of the weekend, cooking nice food for her, making her feel a little bit better. And that was really nice as well. So yeah, diet, nutrition, yeah, we're pretty happy with that this week.
Are you admitting to the chocolate croissants you had for breakfast?
It was a Sunday. On the alcohol front, I'd set out at the start of November to go completely dry, and I've really enjoyed it up until this point. With friends to stay, I decided to take a little bit more of a mature approach, and I really enjoyed, for the first night, having a glass or two of wine with them. And then I did a little experiment on the second night by not drinking and see if it affected the way I felt about the whole experience, and it didn't. So it's been a really good learning curve this week. I only drank one night and I really enjoyed it, and I'm happy to say I enjoyed it. And likewise, when we got friends up, I was quite happy to not drink as well.
I never said I was going to have a dry November. I always knew that when our friends came up to stay that I was going to enjoy a glass or two of wine, and I did. But I have been really good for most of November. I've really enjoyed just drinking lots of soft drinks, definitely sleeping better. Yeah, so I think it's something we'll try and keep up. One of the things that we said that we would do exercise-wise, apart from our regular hiking that we get out and do anyway, because it's just something that we love doing, is that we were going to do 100 push-ups a day. Right at the beginning, I said, how hard can that be? And it isn't actually hard, but wow, am I rubbish at remembering to do it. Richard's really good. He gets up early in the morning, and before I've even got up at sort of 8:30, 9, he's already done some sort of exercise routine, and he's done 33 push-ups. I keep forgetting to do them, and it has resulted in one day where I only did 15, So that's like a bit of a walk of shame for me.
Who would have thought that it's not actually the physical challenge, it's
No.
like the mental challenge of remembering. And when you've got people up at the house or you're at other people's houses, it's not quite as easy to drop down and push out a few push-ups. But that's part of the fun of it. It's a really arbitrary target. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah, our friends were quite amused by the fact that every so often I'd swear a little bit and go, oh dear, I need to get down and do those push-ups again and do another 30. But I did do them while they were here. It was actually the day after that they left that I was not so good.
So as Jackie said, I have tried to build an exercise routine in every morning. So I either do a little body weight circuit or I get out and run. And interestingly, it's been much easier to exercise inside the house than outside. The weather here this week has been awful. It's blown an absolute hoolie.
Yes, it's the valley's been that flooded that we actually haven't been able to leave the village on one of the days.
So it was actually quite challenging, and a couple of mornings I was definitely at the point where I ain't going out in this, because I looked out, it was blowing a hoolie, it was pouring down. But actually, I got out and I really, really enjoyed it. And then it was linked to a podcast I was listening to last week by Andrew Huberman, and he said that actually you've got to go out and do the things that you don't want to do because it improves your mental health and it improves your will and your resilience. And I definitely didn't want to go out and run, and yet 20 minutes later I came back and I felt great, and it was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
So far, the November reset is definitely showing what I've always known. Richard's got a lot more willpower than me. He's kept up with all of his exercise challenges. We've both been really good with just eating much better.
So we're now at the end of week 3, and I think we're both feeling a lot better for it. I am certainly sleeping a lot better. I am feeling really positive about the changes that we've made, and they are not massive changes. They're just small little 10-minute tasks to do every day, but because we do them every day, feeling better on it.
And we're looking forward to next week, hopefully getting away for a couple of days in the van, which we haven't done since we got back, and hiking in the lakes, catching a few Wainwrights.
So that's going to be a new challenge in itself, because we're going to be away in the great outdoors in our tiny van. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do the push-ups, and I'm certainly not sure how I'm going to do my morning circuits. I think it's going to be potentially a cold, wet week, but we'll see how we go.
I'd forgotten about push-ups in a van.
Happy days. See you later.
Bye.